I've tried to console myself by saying indifference is the biggest enemy. Anytime you're doing something that has an approach that is hard to ignore, I guess, or outspoken, there are going to be people that they dislike it or they like it. It's interesting for me, coming from that completely outsider world of street art, that now a lot of street artists see me as too successful to be credible in that world anymore. When I think that world has a sort of kill your idols thing where it's like, so there's a really strong competition and there's jealousy, and people will justify the jealousy by saying, oh, that person's not relevant, Shepard's not relevant anymore, or whatever. But these actually aren't just theories. I'm not like 8th grade psychologist here. I've actually seen it happen where somebody asked me to do a skateboard graphic, and I was with another friend who did graffiti, and I was like, yeah, so-and-so asked me to do skateboard graphics, and like, I never put my stuff on a skateboard, man. I'm keeping it real, like 3 years later, they're art director of a skateboard company. Like no one ever asked them, so of course they're keeping it real and not doing it. And a lot of people say like, yeah, well, I'm keeping my stuff underground. It's like, no, it just sucks. No one likes it. It has to stay underground. Like, supply and demand dictated that. But then, I think that participating in the debate, one of the things that's so liberating about street art is everyone feels authorized to participate in the debate, and that's great. I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh man, all this free speech I've been encouraging, I'm now the victim of it. But I'd rather deal with that than have people not care at all, and not just about me, but just to engage, to take some action. That's good. But yeah, Boston was a really great example of how I was arrested on my way into my museum show. I had done several murals around town, some of which weren't with permission, and the cops, they're really, really smart, so they went onto the museum's website and saw the map of all the legal ones, and by the process of elimination, they figured out that maybe the ones that weren't on the map were not the legal ones, and so they went around and documented those, and then decided to, without any direct observation of me doing anything illegal, come arrest me. So there was that, and then and things in the newspaper with comments, people saying they should do what they do to thieves in the Arab world and cut his hands off. And these are the same people that hate Muslims, but their ideas of punishment are good. But then some of the street art kids were saying like, screw this guy, he's sold out, he's working with the White Cube Institution. And then a lot of people liked the show and came to the show. And it's great. It's funny how like the media, the narrative is like those ends of the spectrum, that's a good story, the drama, good drama. But the whole thing was very exciting. All the good and bad was exciting. And now San Diego's gotten was it pretty drama-free in San Diego? Pretty what? Drama-free. My mural that I did, this is hilarious. My, I think we got to do some San Diego, centric material. Yeah, sure, absolutely. My former landlord, when I had my design studio on the edge of the gas lamp at 12th and G, happened to own a lot of property around San Diego, and he liked what we were doing as artists. His office was right next to ours, and we would see each other, making coffee or whatever, and he'd look at some of our posters. Really nice guy. He passed away, but his daughter was part of the company, and when this show was coming about, Pedro was looking for walls. They happened to own the building that used to be the Corvette Diner, now is Urban Outfitters. Now, coincidentally, Urban Outfitters has carried my t-shirt line intermittently, but the Fosters, when that's who the people are who own the building, they said, oh yeah, Shepard, you know, we're glad to give him a nice big wall. And one of the walls they gave me was the wall that's now the side of Urban Outfitters. But you know, all of the hype in San Diego was like, yo, Urban Outfitters just wants to sell more Obey t-shirts, so give me that wall. And somebody, somebody came and took a fire extinguisher and filled it up with paint, and you know, did some huge tags on it, which we then cleaned off. But that was like, you know, the Keep It Real police came.
Yeah. But you know, I have to say, you can tell me the first time you ever done it, because it wasn't very pleasant.
Yeah, and you know, the funny thing was that, you know, a lot of the comments were like, well, you know, maybe if what the guy did over the mural was better, like, you know, there'd be some argument for it, some justification for it. But yeah, I mean, but all these different these debates, these conversations are, you know, are really, they're important, and it's frustrating for me because I put a lot of love into my work, and when I make it, I don't want to see it destroyed right away. But as a street artist, I know that it might last, you know, it might last 5 years, and it might last 5 hours. That's happened plenty of times, and you know, just continuing, perpetually making work and putting it out there. You're asking what was driving me earlier, and a lot of it might be that knowing that much of the output is ephemeral. It's going to be gone within, you know, however long, and you have to keep making.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but one of the best things about doing this show, you know, I grew up here, is in the response from the public. Real people are very happy with the shows here, and I've had comments or read comments with things like, I'm glad I didn't have to drive to LA to see this. You know, I'm glad I didn't have to go to New York. I mean, you know, this is you know, the show reflects who we are, what we believe in, and that was really one of the best. You know, that for me has been the most fulfilling thing about the show was that response from